says that. I'm sorry, Daddy, I wasn't perfect enough for you.
Yeah. Friends, family, how's it going?
Yeah, Ace and Zane here.
Yeah,
with
we're back.
Guests.
Still with Miss Michaela. Yeah.
Anime newbie.
Woo!
Yeah.
Give
So
it up, give it
I don't
up.
know which video is gonna come out first because we just recorded a hot or not video.
We did.
So for the people that, if we do this one first, introduce them to the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Michaela, longtime friend of
Yep. And you're a new anime fan.
Yeah, I am.
This you've seen
A couple.
5, right?
Yeah.
You said Demon Slayer,
Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
Kaiju number 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
Solo Leveling.
Yep.
Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly 5. We got you a handful of anime. All right.
Yeah.
So yesterday you came over, and I decided that we were gonna give you 7 anime
Yeah.
to choose from because I wanted you to watch a new anime, but I wanted you to pick. So I gave you 7 anime. I gave you one description of each, very vague. What the anime were: Danganronpa, Kaiju number 8.
Wait, pause.
Yo,
That's not recording.
yeah, no.
Okay. Just
Kaiju number 8. What were the other ones?
Dandadan.
Dandadan, yes.
I don't know what the other ones because I wasn't in the
School. You had the
High School
School DxD.
DxD.
Nice.
Missed opportunity.
You're right.
Another.
Yeah, because you guys kind of went through it.
Yeah,
without-
yeah.
I
So
was
yeah,
there.
it was Dandadan, Danganronpa, Kaiju number 8, High School DxD, another
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen. What was number 7?
I don't know. My Hero? No.
No.
I don't
It
know.
would have had
It
to
would
be
have been
something
12
that-
something.
12 episodes. Something we can binge in.
Did you do a romance at all?
No. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Either way,
I don't know.
I gave you 7.
Yeah.
You narrowed it down to just 3.
Yeah. What were the
What were
three?
those 3?
Yeah.
Dandadan,
Yep.
Danganronpa, and Kaiju number 8.
Yep.
So starting with Danganronpa, because there are a lot of people that have probably never seen that before.
Yeah.
What made you pick that one?
I liked the premise of it's a bunch of high schoolers that are kind of trapped in a situation because of some weird, some mystery that's going
Yeah.
on in the high school.
Yeah.
And that was the brief 1-sentence description
Yep.
of that show.
And that was enough.
Enough because
Yeah.
I thought it would, especially with a lot of times with youth, they love to do a Lord of the Flies type situation to
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
see
do,
what
they do.
these
Yeah.
kids are gonna do. And
Yeah.
so I thought, ooh, murder mystery, a bunch of kids. So I figured I would give it a try.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
For why Kaiju number 8?
That was an easy one. I just like I like fantasy, sci-fi, mythical
Yeah.
creatures. I was like, there's gonna be some mythical creatures in there.
Yeah.
It's probably trying to destroy the mythical creatures.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
Pretty
Yeah.
simple
So cool.
concept.
Yeah. I
And
respect
then,
that.
Yeah, and then Dandadan. Why'd you narrow it down to Dandadan?
That's just because I've heard it got a lot of attention, and
Yeah.
I heard about it. I had no idea what it was about.
Yeah.
I just had heard the title, and people were buzzing about it. So
It
I
is,
decided to.
in my
give it a
opinion,
try.
definitely anime of the year. Danganronpa, I really appreciate you picking because it's one of my all-time favorites.
It's been a while since we've seen
It's a cool
it.
concept.
Yeah.
Danganronpa had a
Great-
cool concept.
Great concept.
It is, yeah.
And Kaiju number 8, we watched. And it was
yeah.
solid.
It's the it came out right after Jujutsu. I mean, not Jujutsu, Jesus Christ.
No, it was earlier this
Solo
year,
Leveling.
right?
Yeah, it came
It
right
was
after
spring 2024?
It was one of the fall animes, wasn't it?
No.
No, it wasn't. It was before it.
'Cause,
Yeah.
I think it was this year. Regardless,
yeah.
it was something we both really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Tell the people what you did. So, first of all, we watched the
pilot episode.
pilot of each.
What did you think of the pilot for Danganronpa?
For Danganronpa,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, the art style was giving, especially
Why?
the title was
I'll
wild.
I'll pop something up so everybody can see
The
it.
art
Yeah.
style, especially like the title sequence, was giving Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'm not like even that much into
Yeah.
that.
To that,
Like
yeah.
I'm too
I
scared. to be
never
into
would have
horror.
thought of that until you brought it up.
But
that was
the teddy
apt.
bear and just how uncanny everything looked,
Yeah.
and the color scheme and the art style
Yeah, yeah.
were
Art
very
style was-
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
And so then we get into the pilot, and it's exactly actually what I thought it was.
Lord of the
I
Flies.
had mentioned Lord of the Flies, and,
Yeah.
and Sean gave me a look, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Wait, am I spot on about this?"
Oh,
And it was very much Lord of the Flies. It's like the top talented students, you
Yeah.
know, the cream of the crop.
Super high school level at something.
Something,
For the
yeah,
people
they
that haven't
are-
seen
Yes.
it, it's a group of students that are trapped in a school
Yeah.
with a half white, half black bear Kuma, I think is his name, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
And
And they all
they-
have this title of super high school level.
They are the top, kid in something.
It's like there was baseball, there was idol,
Fortune telling.
swimming, fortune telling. And they were just the best of the best of what they do. So and they're just all trapped.
Would you say watching that episode, were you interested in the show? Like,
Yes.
would it be something that you
Oh
continue
yeah,
in the
absolutely.
future?
It's something.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Next
We
one.
like a whodunit. It was
Yeah.
also giving
Yeah.
clue, very much so clue and trying to get to the bottom of
Murder
why
mystery.
why
What's
they're
going on.
trapped here, why they're how they can get out, who's gonna turn on
On
who.
who?
Like,
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Dandadan was the next one.
We watched Danganronpa first.
Yes.
Danganronpa, I think so. Yeah.
Or
No.
we watched Kaiju number.
We
Oh
watched.
no, it was
Kaiju
Kaiju.
because that
Kaiju
was the
number
most
8.
interesting
So go
like
ahead.
visually to you.
Tell us about Kaiju number 8. First thoughts on episode 1.
Oh, I loved Kaiju number 8. It's
Yeah.
very clear cut for my tastes in just
Yeah.
genres and shows in general.
Yeah.
So I knew it was gonna be definitely down my.
What kind of grabbed your attention with Kaiju number 8? Because just because it's the genre doesn't mean it can be written well or portrayed well. What what made you was like, oh wait, no, this actually might be good.
Yeah.
I like how the main protagonist, he really stands on his like values of
Yeah.
I will always do this, like I'll always work the hard way and never
Yeah.
cheat out of anything. And that's not gonna spoil.
Yeah.
You're good.
But yeah, Kafka. Yeah.
Yeah, Kafka was really, he just stands on his principles, I think, and which sometimes that can be annoying. Because
Yeah.
I understand no one wants like a goody to choose.
Yeah.
And his dynamic with his
With his-
second-hand man
yeah.
Ichikawa
Yeah.
was really nice to see, as well as the kind of the backstory of why he wants to like.
Yeah, we got that a little
Become-
bit
Yeah.
in the pilot.
So,
Yeah, we do.
so for the people that haven't seen the
Kaiju,
show,
yeah.
Kaiju number 8, it is about a world where kaiju attack Japan. I'm assuming the rest of the world
I'm
as well.
assuming, but I don't know if they actually ever touch onto it. But it's like literally regular. Like,
Yeah, no, because one of the characters did go to an American kaiju school.
that's
So it
true.
has
So it's
to
the
be-
entire world. They
Yeah.
have a kaiju epidemic.
Yeah,
it's like
this is the norm, and so they have
Yeah.
specific groups of people that fight the kaiju, specific groups of people that clean
the
up
defense force.
Yeah, the defense forces, and the main character is trying to become a part of the special defense force. So my question for you is, how did you feel about this being an anime where the main character was in his 30s?
I feel like they played on it a little, even kind of heavy. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you're so old.
Yeah,
I don't know,
because
it made me
it's
feel
not
kind of-
it's not the norm. Like usually these main characters, it would have been Ichikawa, the young
Yeah,
guy coming
yeah.
in, but for this, the story was around
Yeah,
a 30-year-old.
there
I
you
liked
go.
how it brought in a certain level of maturity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it contrasted well with his sidekick and best friend.
Best
friend,
Ichikawa.
yeah.
So you can see how they balance each other
Yeah.
out a little bit in the youthfulness versus the maturity.
yeah.
And so it's kind of obviously the message was don't give up on your dreams.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, even at whatever stage of life you're in.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's definitely a lesson he learned in episode 1. So I would say, so you think, from what I'm hearing, episode 1 was a good
was a
one for you.
good
It was
one.
a
Yes.
good one.
Yeah.
We love monsters. The kaiju
Yeah.
is just this big superhuman, supernatural, like alien like thing, like creature that has all these abilities, and now we have defense force that's been in place for years and
Yeah.
years in society.
Because I did like the
Yeah.
world building as well. That was something that we both talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing how in episode 1 that they had the alarms for it. They had
Yes.
protocols.
And
And
how-
the traffic lights would
The
block
traffic
off the roads.
lights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely something that was really well done.
Yeah.
I
Attention
agree.
to detail. I
It was
appreciate
great.
the attention.
Yeah.
Those two were really, really good picks.
And then
The last one was Dandadan.
yeah. How'd you feel about
What did you think about that pilot?
Yeah.
I honestly, my brain was like, "What just happened?" My brain
Yeah.
was- and I knew, like, once I got a feel for the art style and just how
Because it's a
pacing of
lot
the
more
episode went.
stylized.
It's very stylized.
than the other
Very,
ones.
very.
Yeah.
Once I got an idea of the style and just kind of what they're trying to go for,
Mm-hmm.
I realized you're not it's supposed to be like a "what the heck just happened" type.
Yeah.
Of,
Yeah,
you're supposed
yeah.
to just be completely confused and
Yeah.
It just kind of got
like,
thrown
reeling back,
into
yeah.
all the everything
They
that
throw
happened.
you in, and you're supposed to be reeling at the end of
Yeah.
thinking, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah,
I don't even
exactly.
know what just
Watch the
happened.
next
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
Was this what did it get you to? Would you want to watch the next episode? Like, did that get you wanting to like know more
Probably,
about
but
it?
not as much as the other two, because
Yeah.
with the other two, the pilot gave you the premise a lot more
They
clearly.
were good pilots.
Yeah,
good
yeah.
pilots,
Yeah.
strong premise. This one was, I watched a lot of random crazy
Thing that was going
Yeah.
on, and it felt like a cliffhanger instead of a beginning of
a
the story.
cutoff, not even a
Cutoff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
cutoff. It just straight stopped.
Stops.
After
I
you
will-
saw a bunch of weirdness.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will tell you, that is how every
Every
episode
episode
goes.
is, yeah.
It just kind of stops in this awkward spot, and you're kind of like, Oh,
Yeah.
but I guess that kind of spoils it.
Yeah.
Because you were only able to pick one show to watch to completion. What did you end up picking?
Kaiju
number
No.
8.
Yeah, we were
Kaiju
talking about
number
that a little bit
eight.
more.
Which is so predictable. I know.
Yeah.
I love a good like sci-fi mythical creature type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Okay. And then so we binged watched that all night from beginning to end. We kind of made a rule like if we got to the 6th episode and you just weren't feeling it anymore, we were going to switch and go to the next next best one, which would have been probably Danganronpa.
Danganronpa
And then we
would
were
be
going
the
to binge
second,
that, but you wanted to keep going. Like
Yeah.
it
I liked
was
it.
yeah.
Who were your favorite characters? Favorite characters, bar none.
Ichikawa. I
Ichikawa?
love Ichikawa.
Oh yeah.
His
That's
sense,
boy, yeah.
Great.
his sense of protectiveness over Kafka is
love that,
really
yeah.
endearing,
And then he came from someone who actually looked down on Kafka at the beginning because he was like, "You gave up."
Yeah.
Like, and then
He was like, how dare you?
but that's
like,
not going to be me. I'm not
Yeah.
going to be you. So,
See, and that was something I enjoyed, and I do want to bring that up. I don't know if anybody else noticed. It felt like a role reversal.
Yeah.
Kafka tried to teach him a lesson about life, where he was like, "Sometimes you have to give
just
up,
give up. Yeah, sometimes.
and Ichikawa had
but you
the-
don't."
No.
he had that youth to be like, "Nah, bro, I'm gonna keep going."
Yeah.
and he convinced Kafka to keep going.
Yeah, especially since they
And I
changed
like
the
how
age.
they feed, I like how they feed off of each other
Yeah.
really well. Sorry. what
No,
were you
you're
saying?
fine. I was saying like because they, Kafka gave. I mean, he didn't have an option to go back.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I don't know if because he was too old.
Yeah.
He was. I don't know what
He
the original
aged out,
age limit
yeah.
was. I don't think
I
they
don't know if we
told
know
us
about
what,
that.
but
Yeah.
he's 32,
32,
and the age limit was
got raised to 33.
33. So this was his last year to get it done.
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows? Maybe he kept trying, but he never actually got in,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was just done. I mean, maybe it kind of
Yeah.
alluded that maybe he still had another chance at some point, but maybe he just didn't take that chance. Maybe he gave up before even his final cutoff. But yeah,
My
it was
question for
great.
you, Kayla. What did you think about him getting turned into a kaiju scene?
Oh, I mean, yeah, because I was the
What
end
did you
of
think
the
about that?
pilot.
Because that was the end of that was the end of the first episode. How awkward was that? How uncomfortable do you think that? Because it was uncomfortable for me the
It
first
made-
time I saw it, watching
yeah.
that thing flying to his
Flying to
mouth
it.
and just
That
And then
was
he's just
uncomfortable.
like-
Yeah.
The parasite, squid little parasite going in. It was giving Venom vibes, and
yeah,
United said it.
yeah, you did say
Which
that.
is why
yeah.
it didn't completely surprise me, because in order to beat the opposition, you almost have to become one, or at
Yeah.
least somehow gain the powers of the opposition.
Which is something that the Defense Force understands. Is why they wear the suits made
Yeah,
out
made
of
out
like
of the kaiju
kaijus.
flesh,
The
yeah.
weapons are specially made out of kaijus.
Yeah.
It's something they understand.
But this is the first
But to
time.
that
they-
ex-
But
yeah.
to
they
that
had
extent,
But yeah, just like with Venom, he gets these supernatural powers
Yeah.
because of the parasite. So it's giving parasite vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think about that mystery, like of the whole "I found you"?
oh yeah, because that's
that
what the
was-
parasite said.
That's what the parasite
I
said.
found you.
Yeah,
And his eyes were all red, and he was like target. Yeah, very
Yeah,
targeted.
Yeah.
like where do you think that's gonna go? Because that was one of those, at least for me, a big
Like, what
thing.
does that like mean?
It
Like,
makes
were
me
you
wonder-
actually looking for Kafka, and why Kafka?
Or just a good
Or
host.
just,
Or
a
just a good
suitable
host.
host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why was Kafka
why was he
suitable?
suitable? Because they go into
Yeah.
how just averagely fit he is.
Yeah.
Like he's not.
He's just a regular
He's just a
30-year-old.
regular guy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the parasite targeted him specifically, because the parasite would think it'd be easier to take him over, and he'd have less willpower and strength to
I like
resist
that.
the parasite.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
like
maybe the
that.
parasite was looking for a weaker host.
Weaker host.
that could
Yeah.
not resist as easily.
Changing gears from Fly Guy. Best girl or main girl, Shinomiya. What are your thoughts?
Oh, she's definitely the very like that trope, the try hard, has
Yeah.
daddy issues.
Yeah.
The dad that never approved of her, so she always has to be perfect. And she even says that, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, daddy, I wasn't perfect enough for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says that all the time.
All the time.
All
yeah.
the time. She's always trying to reach a certain level to just be enough
Yeah.
for her dad.
I don't want to get too far into spoilers on what, why that is. But the big question that I have, and I didn't have anybody else talk about it because it was just us that watched it. What do you think the nature of Kafka and Shinomiya's relationship is?
Oh.
Because I know there are people out there that are like, I'm shipping them, but she's 16
she's
years
16
old.
and he's 30.
I knew
He is double her age.
I knew
Yes.
she was a young character from the start, just based on
Yeah.
the way she was drawn and created,
And how she
How she
acted.
acts. She acts like a high schooler.
Yeah.
She
Yes,
taunts-
and she's the youngest one because everyone else is
Yeah.
like probably in their 18s.
She
like,
graduated college like
early.
the
Early,
SDF
yeah.
at 16.
Yeah,
So
which
she-
makes me think there's not like an age limit to like.
To
You
join
just
the
have to have an
defense?
education
But remember,
limit.
she's special.
She is special.
So
does get
she's a
special-
special
Yes,
case.
because she is the daughter of
privileges
the
and
man.
networking and all that.
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So what do you think? Because I
Did
know
you get that vibe?
No,
Did you
I
get a
didn't.
romantic
Yeah.
vibe between
I
them?
did not. I got the vibe. She was just trying to show off and say, "Oh, old man, you can't do anything. Try to keep up." Type of.
Yeah, because I didn't get that vibe either.
But
like,
the vibe I
in the typical shonen, you know, in the cast of
She
three,
would
be
have
the love
been the
interest.
love interest.
But again, we've got to remember this story is different
Mm-hmm.
because he's 32 years
the
old.
age
yeah,
difference,
yeah.
So I look at them and I see that more as this is the dad that she wanted,
Yeah.
not the dad she got.
Yeah, and I can see her having a crush on Kafka.
Yeah, I can
because
see that. But
it's
daddy
definitely
issues-
one-sided.
Daddy issues.
Like this is like
This,
I mean,
this guy who's showing me compassion and empathy
and
that I
telling
never
me
got
like,
growing up.
and then
Oh,
when
absolutely.
you know she had that whole existential thing about. My dad never said I did a good job.
Yep.
And then
And
immediately
Kafka
after that,
hears-
he's told her
First
good job.
thing
you
that
did
she
good."
said, he saved her.
Yes,
and told her
told
she did a good job.
Yeah, so I would
if
say
that's not like just like the ambrosia for people with daddy issues, I don't know what is. You know,
So
Right.
I can see,
Right,
but like
right.
he is like the entire time he was like I would say older brother because he's goofy and he like
Yeah,
he
he's got that goofy
He's,
older
he's
brother.
a young
with her.
dad. He
Yeah.
had her at
Either
16.
young dad or an older brother, but because he does compete with her and he tries to one up her
Yeah.
and everything and like but like she could have a crush, but at the end
I see
that's
that.
like a
That's what I
father
see
figure
more.
for her.
I see the one-sided crush because
Good, yeah.
again, daddy issues.
Yeah.
I don't see that being something Kafka's ever gonna be like.
Yeah.
No, I don't see
In
Kafka returning
reality,
it
like
either.
I know we talked about it briefly about how it didn't seem like they were really playing any romance.
Not at all.
Like even
No.
Kafka with Mina, that might have been like the more obvious one, but he has
That is
admiration for
admiration,
her. He has
that is-
respect for her.
yeah.
He wants to
And trying to
stand
keep
by
his
her
promise,
side,
yeah, to keep his
not to
Exactly.
be
promises to
with her.
yeah.
So I thought that was I liked that.
I appreciated that.
Oh, that's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
That was literally gonna be my
I-
next question:
yep,
is
I
what
read
do
your
we
mind.
think
Yeah.
about
I appreciate
there not being a typical romance
I
at all?
appreciated them not, because sometimes those things get a little forced and
Yeah.
just put to the forefront when they really don't need to be the forefront.
Agreed.
When you're trying to focus on the story and the plot and like
Yeah.
the growth of the characters, and I think they're more focusing on the growth of the characters as well as the brotherhood, loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
and bond they have with each other.
I agree. Like I think about it like fairy tale, and I know there are people that like really like this, but this kind of gives me that same like vibe of fairy tale because in that show, the entire guild is what's important. It's there are
Collective,
a
yeah.
main cast of characters, but their entire story revolves around the fact that they all love this guild, need to be in this guild,
And they stay strong.
and it's a
as
family unit. And I felt that watching this series as well. I think Fairy Tail just needed better animation.
Yeah, I think because we mentioned it how they have this very powerful friendship with Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
but it's a part of the show and it's ingrained into
Yeah.
it. I swear, if the animation was better, the fight scenes were better. If they just
Yeah.
had more money, I think people wouldn't have minded
Random
them-
Fairy Tale tangent that we've gone on, but
Right.
you know
We
it's okay.
tend to always end up
We
going
always
on
go
it.
back to Fairy Tale.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what were some big things for you? If you had to take three things, it could even just be whole episodes themselves, three things that you took away from last night, you laid down, you were going to sleep, you're like, dang, I really like those things. What would it be?
I liked that they converged. So the kaiju, they now showed, okay, kaiju humans can merge. I like how they introduced that
Yeah.
because then now that makes it a more level playing field, and it means, oh, the power and the options are unknown and possibly unlimited
Yeah.
with the humans, the
Yes.
defense force, and the humans fighting back against the kaiju.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it more even, especially with the increased pressure that we see throughout the episode,
Yeah.
throughout the season,
Season,
of the
yeah.
enemy. And then I also liked, of course, Kafka and Ichikawa. I love
That is a
dynamic
great-
that
so
dynamic
much.
is
I
amazing.
love
That
that
was really
dynamic
good.
so much.
I always love a good bromance.
Is it Hoshina? The sword? The sword?
Yes.
Oh,
I love him.
It's Hoshina.
Yeah,
I
I should have put
Yeah.
him on Hot or Not.
Yeah, literally Hoshina, I'd be like, yes.
Absolutely,
Yes. He's a
love
short
him.
king. But
He is a
He
short king, but
The short
king,
we
I
love him.
Yeah,
He's the standard, man. Like that was a.
and I wasn't like, because
Loved it.
you know how I am about characters that don't open their eyes.
Oh yeah. You complain about that constantly. Like, why do
Constantly.
they look like that?
I noticed
Especially
that. I
when
noticed that
they
about him.
do open their eyes.
Because it's a trope. It's a
I
thing.
know
It's
Like,
for emphasis.
it's for
Yeah.
like he is getting serious.
Like, this is a
Because when
very-
when they have their eyes
Zenitsu.
closed, they're
It's
usually
also reminds me
Yeah.
of Zenitsu
Yeah.
from Demon Slayer.
because like
definitely the opposite. I didn't notice that.
because he closes his eyes
To
when he
become
gets
serious.
serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's you know they want to because he is a very goofy character,
Yeah.
especially with how he is with Kafka and
Just that whole when he met
And he
them,
just
he was
starts
like
laughing and
he's like
just-
just let them in.
Yeah,
We
just
need
let
to-
them in. They're funny.
We need a comedic
comedic duo.
Yeah.
We need a
Yeah.
comedic presence. And
But
you
Yeah.
just let him in.
him, like when he opens his eyes, you know he's down for business and everything, and he's
The
my
code
favorite
switching,
character.
the
Yeah.
concentration
Was
that
great.
he, yeah. When
My
he's in-
favorite thing about that character was just how I wouldn't necessarily say distraught. Distraught's not the right word, but when he found out that Kafka was Kaiju 8,
It
it was like I don't think he knew how to process that
Because
because he
he-
had really grown to respect
yes,
him.
and he suspected Kafka.
He
Yeah.
did have some
He
suspicions.
knew there was something wrong, which is why he allowed him to,
He
kind
wanted
of
to
join.
keep an eye on him. Yeah, he
But
just
then
wanted
I
him
think
under his
he
wing.
realized he started was like, but no, I think I think he started seeing. They haven't really they didn't go into it too much, but when we get that flash of him where how he had to work to get to where he was,
Yeah.
because his aptitude with weapons, with guns specifically,
Was
is
low.
not it was
Yeah.
low, and he had to figure out another way
Yeah.
to stand by Mina's side. I know,
Exactly.
and
I like
that's
that dynamic
essentially
too,
what
yeah.
Kafka's going through.
Yeah.
His aptitude with weapons, probably everything.
Yeah, his
Everything
aptitude with
is trash.
everything
Whoa.
It's trash.
is 1% or 0.
He got to 1%.
Got to 1%.
0.01%.
I thought he got to 1%
He eventually
later.
did, yeah. And but he had to, and he does find another way to protect everybody,
Yeah.
and not even with the kaiju, not even with
It's
him
his
turning
knowledge
it's his knowledge
about
on the
kaiju,
creatures,
yeah.
and that's what he had to work with. Because we see later, like, because we know that I forget her name, but the main girl, Shinomiya.
Yeah.
How she is now the third, basically.
Yeah.
Like they are all three, like the top three now.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I just want to be a part of that. I was like, there's a spot for you.
Yeah.
It's just intelligence, not battle.
And that is something I really enjoy too. Again, and I bet it's because of his age that was written into that way, that he's bringing experience
And wisdom.
that all of those young people who are very fit, very, powerful combatants,
Yeah.
they don't have that.
And they all end up respecting him from it and trust him from it. I think it would have been nice to see more of a like people not like wanting to listen to him. We didn't really get that. Like once he said something, they immediately listened to him and trusted him. I feel
trust
like
him
it
is-
would have been nice to see like a consequence of them not listening
I think
to him.
that's I think it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a cultural
Because
thing.
he is
now.
old.
'Cause
He is the oldest, so it's like
they're
they messed
senior,
with
yeah.
him and everything. But
Yeah.
and then oh man, it was something that we talked about, but it was I loved how they didn't he didn't get into the force because of his kaiju powers.
Oh, and that's something
yeah.
that you were saying that
Yeah.
you
I like how he earned everything fair and square when he was trying to make his way into the Defense Force ranks, is that he was just using his human side.
Yeah.
I had a 0%.
Why he was so low?
Maybe he was
Maybe.
using two. Maybe he
'Cause
was
did we-
overcompensating.
Because did we
with-
talk about that? Like, I know I brought it up. I
Yes,
vaguely
we did,
remember
we did.
that.
The
Is
readings
it
could be wrong.
because he's a kaiju now?
The readings, I think my theory is the readings of using all the gadgets and monitors they use on everyone to measure their potential couldn't read him properly. Like they also couldn't read his vitals his
Yeah.
vitals
Yeah, I mean,
went off
because
when
we
he went
know
kaiju.
the
Yeah.
tiger that Mina has can smell like kaiju.
Oh, right,
We know
he
the
can.
Shinomiya can smell kaiju for
So
whatever
does
reason.
that mean the tiger's known?
Yeah, but like because
Tiger has to know.
he hates Kafka, and
Yeah,
and
right.
Mina
And
was
Shino-
like, "Why do you smell like a kaiju?"
Yeah.
So
that's true.
not Mina, but Shinomiya.
Yeah.
So like they're reading supposed to be able to read human
Human and
vit-
how it's interacting with the kaiju.
but he's not human anymore.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that may be it.
That's
But
why his potential is read on the monitor.
Is read on the
so
monitor.
low.
But despite that, everything he did was his own, out of
Yeah.
his own merit.
on merit, yeah.
Like so,
and the best friend.
and the yeah.
When he broke his leg during the exam, and
His yeah,
Ichikawa
was
had the
just
piggyback
Karen,
on?
Karen,
On
yeah.
the shoulders. That
Yeah.
was beautiful. A beautiful
Love
moment.
that.
That's great. I love phenomenal bromances.
But
Yeah,
that was Kaiju number 8.
yeah.
Do you recommend this? Would you recommend this to the people that watch this video, all 15 of them?
When season 2 comes out, are you going to binge it?
It's coming out July, I want to say, of
I
next
would
year.
watch. Oh yeah, I'd continue watching.
Okay. Do you recommend this to the people?
Yes, and
As
even
in-
for newbies,
yeah,
even for people
even-
who are not,
Okay.
not into anime, I think this is a good
I
one.
think it's because it's still
I like
technically
that.
shonen, right?
Yeah,
like
it is
despite
still
the
a
main
little-
character.
Because some animes can be a little too
Let's pause.
shell-shocking.
Let's
Yeah.
think about that. That's actually a really good question.
Yeah.
Is this still a shonen?
Because
Because a shonen is typically a show geared towards young boys. That's why it's called a shonen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have the
16, 15.
hot female characters,
And
you
then,
know,
yeah.
and he's super strong or he gets really strong.
Mm-hmm. But this, it's the tone of it isn't really seinen is more adult.
Yeah.
You have adult characters, you have adult
Who are going through adult problems
and
and-
it's like, but
I think it's a shonen. It has the wrapping of a seinen,
yeah.
but it has the storytelling of a
And it's
shonen.
and it's a idea that is like, I mean, it's why you were interested in it. Sci-fi isn't a anime like
yeah, like
Everyone likes
genre.
big
sci-fi,
kaiju's, like
Because
that's
I'd
not.
say anime
Big monsters,
has their
yeah.
own genre ish. Like
Yeah.
I'd say, I mean, a lot of it is fantasy, but
Yeah.
like there's like a genre to anime, but this had a more realistic.
Yeah, this
not
was like-
realistic, but more live action genre.
You guys like
we
Godzilla.
could
Who
literally.
doesn't like
I mean, there's
Godzilla?
the whole TV show with the live action with the monsters, what that
Yeah.
whole organization.
I mean, what Cloverfield,
Cloverfield and
The Mist, like everybody loves.
exactly
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim. Like
And I think
we've
I'm biased
seen
by
a
what I
live
have
version
seen.
of this.
I'm biased by what I have seen in
Yeah.
anime. It's like Demon Slayer, since I had recently seen that. I love like a bunch of warriors and an elite force killing a bunch of
Yeah.
monsters. Like
I mean, yeah,
that's
Attack
so
on Titan.
interesting. Yeah.
Attack on Titan.
This isn't
Although
as
Attack on Titan's too
depressing.
intense. That's too intense. That
Attack on
was one
Titan
of
was
the first animes
100%
I
a
watched.
seinen. Yeah.
That was one of the first anime I watched, and I thought, are all anime like this? I was like,
gosh.
are all of them meant to depress you?
No.
And I honestly, because I had seen Attack on Titan, I thought Ichikawa was gonna die very soon in that. Like when
I can see that.
I
yeah.
thought he was gonna
So
die soon
right.
because of course you have to
I
kill the
thought
best
at
friend.
least
This
like
may be why it's
of the
a shonen.
group. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
at least. Yeah, that's true.
No one's
because
No one's dying.
if
enough.
it was
Not
a
enough
seinen,
death.
if there
Yeah.
was a seinen, at least 3 of the like all their
Main-
group
main-
of squad 3 would have been dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
see
at
that.
least
I can
3
see
of
that.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if our main guy, I keep forgetting his name with the
Cough.
swords.
Oh
no,
wait, Hoshino.
Hoshino. I don't know if he would have died then, but I feel like he would have been crippled.
100%.
Hoshina also gives me Eli. Or sorry,
Levi?
Levi. Sorry, Levi.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Eli.
Which is-
Levi.
and
not
I
Eli.
love Levi.
I don't
They
think that
both
was
are
an
like-
accident.
They're
I
both
love
similar,
Levi.
similar statue, similar haircut.
Yeah.
Both swordsmen.
Yeah.
Both
Yeah,
literally-
I
but
don't
Levi
think that
just
was an
stays
accident.
serious the entire time.
Yeah.
But I
Whereas-
can, and
yeah.
then their speed, how they fight.
Yeah.
Very
I
similar.
want a battle between Levi and
Oh my
Oshino
God.
right now. Yeah,
That would be great.
that would be great.
But we agree. You would recommend this as
Yes.
a new anime fan. You say if this is your first anime, you think
And you
that
have
would be good.
like a little bit of a preference for sci-fi,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like that kind of like big bad
Yeah.
monsters. Then
Okay.
yeah, I would say.
I like that. That's a good way. That's a good thing to end on.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about it. We think before we had seen Dandadan.
Oh
Actually,
no!
now
Don't start on Dandadan. Oh my gosh!
No.
don't
I just
start
want to
on
ask, now that we've seen Dandadan and this, because I know we said another video that Kaiju number 8 deserves anime of the year. Do we still think that? With all these new anime that came out in fall
With all
2024?
this-
Well,
Yeah.
was solo leveling also in the same field of that?
Yes. I even
Yes.
said still with
I like
solo
Kaiju number 8
leveling.
better than solo leveling.
100%.
Yeah.
But I
I
have
think
my own issues about the
with-
world.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
solo
yeah.
leveling,
That
don't even
makes
get me
sense.
started.
That's a
Yeah.
different video.
Yeah.
Different video.
Yeah.
But do you still agree with me? Kaiju number 8's anime of the year, even over Dandadan.
I would, yeah, even over Dandadan. Like, because it just, as a full story,
Mm-hmm.
beginning to end, it was a phenomenal first
Yeah.
season. Every pilot was a phenomenal first pilot.
Yeah.
And then the season just, the world building was great.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Dandadan, I know you haven't seen it yet, but it's kind of, it's kind of slowly builds the world.
Yeah.
But it's very,
Because it's supernatural slice of life.
it's a supernatural slice of life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like,
Yeah.
it is visually great. The characters are great. It builds, but like, I
But
think
Kaiju number 8
number
wins.
8. I think Kaiju number 8.
It
is
won
most
all of our
well-rounded.
hearts. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
for
that.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all we got to tell them. It's Kaiju number 8.
Kaiju number 8.
Watch it.
Please.
It's great.
Mhm.
And we're out.
We're out.
All right.